So now we can wrap up our section on formatting by talking about percentage format. And so we're going to be up here in the number group again within the Home tab on the ribbon. I'm going to click on cell G4, and that's 0.75. Now if I come over here and I click on our drop down again to see our shortcut formats, I again see a preview. If I change it to currency, it'd be 75 cents. If I do a date, it wouldn't really understand that because remember, it's looking at days, whole days. If I come down to percentage, I see it'd be 75%. A fraction would be 3/4. Well, that makes sense because 3/4 is 75%. I'm going to click on 75%. And what we'll see is if I apply that format, I'm going to highlight the whole range, and I can come up here and apply that format to the entire range using just this button. I can use either the drop down here and change it, or if I want to do it more quickly, I can click on just this percentage style button, and that changes it to 75%, 60%, etc. Now if you notice, I lost my decimal places, so if I wanted those back, I can come up here and just use the decimal places like we did in the last video. But there is one other thing I wanted to show you, and that's a trick that sometimes people fall for in Excel when they're using percentages. And I say trick, and it's not really a trick they intended to do, it's just the way Excel interprets numbers. So it's important to realize this as we go forward, that when I enter in 5, Excel understands 5. And if I come over here and I do percent, Excel now understands 500%. And the reason is just the same as what I did a minute ago when I changed 0.75 to a percentage. It understood that as 75%. And that's because mathematically 0.75 is 75%. 5 mathematically is 500%. So if we're working with a number to start with and then converting it to a percentage, we need to remember that Excel is going to interpret it based on what its true value is mathematically. Now, that's different though if I have a cell that I already format. Let me come up here to this blank cell and I'm going to format it as a percentage. So now it's showing percentage. Excel knows that I'm trying to enter in a percentage. So now if I type 5 and hit enter, it recognizes that as 5% and it will treat it as 0.05. So if I did any math like we'll do later, with this number, since it's showing as 5% here and up in the formula bar, it will handle that number as 0.05. Over here though, where I entered 5 in and I didn't have the percentage format, I applied the percentage format later, it's going to continue to use 5 rather than 0.05, and I can tell that by the fact that it's showing me 500% when I change it to a percentage. So it's just one of those things to keep in mind because sometimes people get tripped up with that and they'll convert their percentages incorrectly, and we'll see later on when we're doing math that that can make a big problem. So that's how we change percentages, and if you want to review any of those, you can go back and review some of those other formats, but it's really pretty easy, just trial and error using the numbers section up here and using any of these custom formats that are already laid out for you, or clicking on more number formats if you want to tweak it a little bit more.